Be in great shape over here. We found ourselves in a great, beautiful place out here amongst mountains, amongst this lake. Quite a big rock too, so just enjoying it. Thankful. Let's see. So, question was, what are our subconscious beliefs, and how can we really identify them and see them for what they are, and choose to move past them when you're ready for that kind of movement, right? So the first thing is just really become aware of what they are and what they're trying to bring you back to. A lot of them are really just memories, conditioned memories, really like core memories that really take you back to a different time in your life, a different time when you were out and about doing your thing, living. But it pushed you to see things on a certain way. Like when the first time you encounter it, it triggers you to a certain sense, like it frightens you or it spooks you, right? Or it just gets a large energetic response from you, right? You're like really thrown into it. So that immense triggering response is memorized into your brain. It's memorized into your nervous system. Essentially that is connected, all throughout your body. That energy path, it's all recognition. So that it's like a memory bank in that sense. It's connected to your brain. Of course, we know that as the core memory sense. And so every time you do have that kind of strong emotional response, it is subconscious. Oh, well, that was crazy. I don't know how I'm going to be able to top that, but for now, thankful that the phone didn't even turn off. So, amen to that. All right, yeah. Well, to be honest, that should not have happened. I don't know how. Uh, I don't know how the phone stayed on, honestly. So, again, thankful for that. Yeah. At this point, if I'm going to try to conclude that or continue on with that other one, well, all right. So I was really into like it being a large response, like a core thing, something that is moving through you strongly, right? Something strong that triggers you. You feel it deeply. You feel it all throughout your body, and it's emotional. It's heavy. And there's times when you hold it with you for a long period of time, and every time it's brought up, it has the sense to ruin your day, right? Because once you know you were brought up into it, and then so in the sense that like it came back to you, so you're like, oh, and it's like, all right, so what's something you could change? What's something you decide to no longer believe in? It's just like a feeling of like not worthy to being wholesome, to believing that just common things that reoccur in your mind that you're like, okay, that's no longer the case in my current life. Sure, that was true back then, but now you're drawn from it and return to the present. So it's not something that you're carrying as far as luggage and suitcases. You'd be surprised, all right, how many people you can't see it per se, but in energetic sense, they're carrying so much. You know, and it's just something that's open. It's something that not that it's their fault in a sense. They just haven't learned how to properly release that, right? Haven't been able to properly process it. You see, so okay. So when we do get involved in these things, right, we feel it, right? It's a strong response. So essentially, we need to feel it at its most. We need to allow it to process through our body and not distract, to try and distract our body to try and not process it fully, not truly feel the emotion, not allow yourself to get angry, not allow yourself to cry, to get upset, not allow yourself to really feel the emotional tone that it's taking on your body, on your soul, really. So when you can do that, when you allow yourself to do that, you're processing it fully, you're letting it work itself out energetically, and you're understanding, in a sense, kind of what's going on in that moment, like what it's asking of you, right? You're feeling it fully, you see. And so when it happens maybe a second time, for whatever case that may be, you say, okay, I've actually experienced this before. It's not so bad, right? I lived through this before. I've experienced it before. I've walked that road before. And you felt it fully, right? You weren't distracted. You weren't, you know, just partaking. You weren't distracting yourself away, drinking, whatever, you know. So if you're not doing that in the sense you're feeling it fully, that is more going to take you out of it and numb the experience that is trying to work through you. You're not allowing itself to process it. You're kind of numbing it and saying, no, 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 that's not how I'm going to handle this at this moment. And so it takes away, because I believe life is trying to give you that experiences so you can process these things, so you can get over them, so you can now move forward in things that want to excel in your life, want to move you forward to higher levels, to more enjoyable experiences, to times that you can really enjoy. So these things do come at you in a sense because you're ready for them. So we could say it is almost like a test, but to a test that you're fully capable of moving past and surpassing, moving forward in this life. And right, so now that you've tamed it, you're able to progress in this, we'll call it game of life. You're able to progress onto things and experiences that you prefer to see on a daily basis, on things that you prefer to experience on a daily basis. And why not, right? You can choose those things to happen and occur. And you can allow life to happen in the sense that you prefer, at the most simplest sense. So then I would say stay open to the changes. You see, stay open to the things that are trying to knock on your door. Just, you can see that what's trying to change something, when you're in a time that you're eager for something to change, that can move you in the right direction as well. And being open is certainly a large thing. We would trace it back to uh, those that have a large ego, in a sense that is still built up, will only want to see things in in the way that they absolutely expect it to occur. And if it's not that, then it's a large emotional response and they get worked up and upset. But they can't really comprehend why. But that's okay. That's okay. Removing that concept of judgment and judgment of character and personality, what people, I mean, really, it's, on looks, but really, in a sense of how people carry themselves too. We really don't know things about like the moment before we see someone, seconds before, you don't know. Like they could have had a crazy phone call, a crazy encounter, they're in a rush to go somewhere, they're, just found out some crazy news about somebody, and then they get to you, and then you have what you're going on, right? And then they can mix in such a way that triggers such a crazy experience, right? And so, so we're all kind of moving in different directions. We're all kind of experiencing different, uh, energies with different people, and things are going on. And if you can provide them with an open sense, a wholesome, a present, like greeting, a welcoming, or just a present time, that can really assist people. Something as simple as a smile, something as simple as a kind gesture, you know? You could really change the entire outcome of someone's day just getting them out of a place that they're held up in. So we don't realize the importance of these little experiences, you see. So if you can see it and choose it from the good side, and just a little compliment, a little hey there, these small little things do have profound like actions in our lives. This, the secret word is love. If you can bring that word up to people, it can really uplift. I see. It's no secret. It shouldn't have to be. Uh, and yeah, I'm just happy to share these things, for those that need it.